I'm currently 36 weeks pregnant and I have a 13-month-old son. And right now I'm going to compare my first pregnancy symptoms with my second pregnancy symptoms. And then going into third trimester, for my first pregnancy, I had intense round ligament pain. I remember just getting out of bed was horrific. I was gonna say horrifying, but yeah, it was very horrifying because I didn't want to get out of bed. It was a lot of pain. And then I had one leg cramp, and I remember this specifically because I remember screaming in the middle of the night and my husband running into the room. He's like, what's going on? Like, because it's the third trimester, like any noise I made, my husband was he was on edge. But I remember that one leg cramp and I ran out of my bone nutrient supplement, so that was probably connected. But yeah, so I had a leg cramp and then my insomnia got worse. And so instead of waking up multiple times a night, I would wake up and not be able to go back to sleep, and then I'd have to take like naps throughout the day. And so I was definitely napping a lot more in my third trimester. And then I was experiencing I was getting super hungry in the middle of the night or late night. And so when I would get up for my insomnia, I would be hungry. And so I was eating in the middle of the night, and it was just horrible. It was a horrible cycle. But eventually it got better, but at the same time it was hard in the moment because I wanted to sleep, but also I wanted to eat. Then I had low energy, like I said, having to nap more throughout the day. And it could be like 20 minutes to maybe 3 hours of napping. And yeah. And then my rash that I had on my hands, I started having on my chest, and then on the back of my neck, and then on my armpits. And that was not fun at all. And I have pictures and it's really hard to look at, so I'm gonna show them, but if you don't want to see them, then just quickly press 10 seconds before. So yeah, that was my rash. It's not the prettiest sight, but that is what I experienced. And it was pups, but I also feel like it was a mixture of eczema and I was allergic to sugar, carbs, so I had to completely cut all of those things out after I gave birth. But that rash was super intense and it was painful. Water hitting it hurt. I couldn't put anything on it. And yeah, diet definitely fixed it, but it was horrible. And then for my second pregnancy in my third trimester, I had way more intense round ligament pain. Like, getting out of bed now is super painful. So I try not to move, but I move a lot in the middle of the night, like switching sides. I do that a lot. And then in this pregnancy, I have way more intense lower back pain, probably because now it's my second pregnancy, so my muscles and ligaments and whatnot are way more relaxed now. Everything's not as tight as it was in my first pregnancy. And then I do have insomnia. Like, for example, last night I slept through the entire night. I didn't get up. But a few nights before, I would get up maybe every 2 hours, or I wouldn't be able to go back to sleep. So from 3 a.m. I'm up all the way through until my son gets up and we start the day. And so I am experiencing a little insomnia, but it's not as bad as it was in my first pregnancy. And then same thing, late night hunger. So I'm either eating way too early, because I like to eat dinner earlier, like 5:30. And when 10 o'clock comes around, I'm so hungry. And so I'm definitely eating at night later, and I don't like that. Yeah, that's something we're currently working on. And then as you can see, I don't have a rash on my chest. No, nothing on my neck, nothing under my armpits. But I do have a little bit of rash on my hands. Like maybe you see that? Yeah. But it's just on my palm and it doesn't itch. I just notice it like on the middle of my finger. See those bumps like right there on my middle finger. That's about it. And it's mostly on my right hand. Nothing really on my left hand. I had some rash maybe in my second trimester here, but it wasn't intense and it went away within days. So that's a good thing. I'm now experiencing lightning crotch. I just had it like a few days ago. And it wasn't that intense, but it was there. Like I knew what that was. It was definitely like lightning crotch. And then, yeah, so those are my pregnancy symptoms of my first and second pregnancy. And so I do want to compare labor symptoms as well and just compare the two different labors. My first labor and birth was a story and a half, so I will have to share what that was like. I did give birth at home. Whew, but it was a story. It was an experience, all right. So comparing the two will definitely be interesting because that first one, I hope to not experience again, but we shall see. Whatever is in the plan will happen, and I am just receiving and surrendering to whatever is to come. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you'd like to continue watching our journey as a new family of 2 under 2. Mahalo for watching.